There's a lot of hype around NFTs or non-fungible tokens. We've all heard of digital artwork selling for millions of dollars, struggling artists who have become overnight millionaires, and the masses who earn a living by playing games. But beyond the hype, NFTs also give hope in solving some of the world's toughest problems. Sure, this technology still has a lot of challenges to be addressed. NFTs use an insane amount of energy, has high minting costs, and have been used as a front for scams and fraud. But assuming that this young technology will address these challenges in the near future, we might see some practical applications of NFTs that have an impact beyond its current hype. I will talk about these applications in the next few videos. If you are new into NFTs, check this playlist I made of the best NFT explainers on YouTube. But for this series, you only have to know that NFTs or non-fungible tokens are simply a way to authorize ownership using blockchain technology. Simply put, if something is minted as an NFT, you get a digital token or certificate that verifies your ownership of a unique object in the digital or physical world. Thanks to blockchain technology, it is impossible to manipulate that certificate. It is good as truth. And we have seen how digital art goes well with NFTs. In this video, we will look at another unlikely match for NFTs: land in the real world. Land ownership is a huge problem for many people. Problems of inequality and poverty can be traced back to land ownership. Those who own land become powerful, and those who don't become workers or even slaves at the mercy of landlords. According to the World Bank, only 30% of the global population has legally registered rights to their lands and homes. This means that for the majority of the world, people cannot prove that they truly own their land or house. Imagine if governments can use NFTs to certify ownership of land. People, especially the poor, will benefit greatly from this. In the past, it has been easy for the rich and powerful to disregard land ownership simply because people had no land titles. Imagine if your family has lived in a beautiful plot of land for 3 generations, thanks to your grandfather who chose to settle in that area. Unfortunately, because your grandfather cannot read or write, your family never had any land title or certificate to prove your ownership. A wealthy land developer comes in and would like to build a resort on the land where your house is built. Unfortunately, in the eyes of the law, the land developer wins and they can claim your land because you don't have a legal claim to it. You have become a squatter on your own property. It looks like a simple problem, but this happens all too often in many parts of the world. It has made the poor much poorer and the rich richer. And this is even more true for indigenous communities who have been taken advantage of for their lack of knowledge on these legal issues. NFTs can help solve this problem by giving people a chance to own a token that represents their land. A token that is unquestionable and impossible to manipulate, even by the rich and powerful. And that is just a starting point. For governments, turning land into NFTs could make tax collections more efficient. There's also a thing called fractionalized NFTs. Essentially, that means that your NFT can be divided into smaller pieces and be distributed to your stakeholders. Imagine if you were a farmer who has dedicated your entire life working for a landlord. The landlord can easily kick you out if he wants to sell his land. But if you own the fractionalized NFT of the farm you work in, you will get a percentage of the sale and a fair compensation for all the labor that you bring in the farm. You're not a mere worker anymore, but you are a rightful co-owner of the land that you helped develop. Earlier this year, a digital plot of land sold for $900,000, making it one of the most expensive NFTs ever sold. But imagine a world where actual land is minted as NFTs and where it's not just whales benefiting, but the actual people who work in them. And that is something we should be curious about. This is Curioustan, the channel where technology, culture, and society meet. Consider subscribing so you don't miss out on our curious connections.